There's a version of you that you promised you'd become, maybe on a New Year's night, maybe at 2 a.m. scrolling, feeling behind. You made the plan. You bought the app, the shoes, the notebook, and for 3 days you were unstoppable. And then life happened, and the old you quietly came back. Here's the part nobody tells you. You didn't fail because you lacked willpower. You failed because you were taught the wrong story about how change actually works. Let me tell you the true one. It starts with a boy who lost everything in a single second. His name is James Clear. He was a sophomore in high school, a promising baseball player, when a classmate accidentally swung a baseball bat full force into his face. The impact fractured his skull and swelled his brain. He was rushed to the hospital, put into a medically induced coma. He had seizures. He lost his sense of smell. For a while, doctors weren't sure who he'd be when he woke up. He didn't come back as a hero. He came back slow, learning to walk normally again, getting cut from the varsity team. There was no lightning bolt, no montage. There was just a boy and a series of almost embarrassingly small choices. Going to bed a little earlier, cleaning up his habits one at a time, showing up to the gym when nobody was watching. 6 years later, that same boy was named to the ESPN Academic All-America team, one of the best college athletes and students in the entire country. Nothing dramatic ever happened. Everything small did. And years later, he'd write down exactly what he learned in a book called Atomic Habits. Here's the math that changes everything. If you get just 1% better every day for a year, you don't end up 365% better. Because improvement compounds, you end up nearly 37 times better. And if you get 1% worse every day, you decline almost down to 0. 1% is invisible in the moment. It's the workout that doesn't change the mirror, the page you read that changes nothing today. This is why most people quit. They expect a straight line, and change comes as a curve. Clear calls the flat, frustrating early stretch the valley of disappointment, the place where you're doing the work but seeing nothing, and every instinct screams that it isn't working. Think of an ice cube in a freezing room. You raise the temperature 1 degree, then another. Nothing. 28 degrees, 30, 31, still a solid block. And then 32 degrees. 1 more degree, no different from the others, and the ice begins to melt. The breakthrough wasn't the last degree, it was all of them. Now, the idea that quietly runs your whole life. We're obsessed with goals. Lose 20 pounds, hit 6 figures, write the book. But everyone at the Olympics wants the gold medal. Everyone starting a business wants to be rich. The goal isn't what separates the winners from the losers. Clear's insight is uncomfortable. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. The small routines you run on autopilot every single day. A goal is a direction. A system is the vehicle. You can want to reach the mountain all you like. If you don't build the daily habit that walks you there, you'll stay exactly where you are, just more frustrated. But here's the deepest layer, and it's the one that will stay with you. Most people try to change from the outside in. They focus on what they want to achieve. The people who actually change focus on who they want to become. Imagine 2 people resisting a cigarette. The first says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." The second says, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." Same refusal, completely different person. The first is fighting their identity. The second is living it. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you believe you are. Do one push-up and you voted, "I'm someone who trains." Write one sentence, "I'm a writer." You don't need every vote. You just need to win the majority. This is why tiny habits matter so much more than they look. They're not about the push-up. They're about the proof. You're slowly becoming the evidence of a new identity. So how do you actually build one? Clear gives 4 simple laws. To create a good habit, make it obvious. Put the book on your pillow, the running shoes by the door. Make it attractive. Pair it with something you love. Make it easy, and this is the big one. Make it satisfying. Give yourself a small reward so your brain wants to come back. And the single most useful tool in the whole book, the 2-minute rule. When you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Don't read 30 pages, read 1 page. Don't meditate for an hour, take 3 breaths. Don't run 5 miles, put on your shoes and step outside. It sounds too small to matter. That's the point. You're not trying to achieve the habit. You're trying to become the kind of person who shows up. Master showing up, and the rest grows on its own. So let's bring this home to your real life. Not someday, today. Pick the one change you've been carrying around like a heavy backpack, the health thing, the money thing, the discipline thing. Now shrink it until it's almost laughable. 2 minutes, 1 page, 1 glass of water, 1 honest look at your bank account. Because the boy in the hospital bed didn't rebuild his life with a grand plan. He rebuilt it 1 invisible degree at a time. Until one ordinary day, the ice broke. Your breakthrough is probably closer than it feels. You're just still in the valley. Don't quit in the valley. Atomic Habits has hundreds of these tools, and it might genuinely be the most practical book you'll ever read about becoming who you want to be. If today gave you even one small idea worth acting on, here's your first 2-minute habit, and it starts right now. Hit subscribe. Every week, one life-changing book fully animated in 10 minutes. Like the video. It takes 2 seconds, and it's a vote for the kind of content you want more of. And share it with the one person who's been stuck in their own valley of disappointment. You know exactly who. Then tell me in the comments the one 2-minute habit you're starting today. I read every single one. If you want the full book, and it's worth it, the link is in the description. I'll see you in the next story.